Yo, Henry, that was you Slo-Pitch. Today we're getting a chance to bring out the all-new USSSA line of the Miken Freaks. We've got, starting from my left to right, probably your right to left, but we got the one-piece balanced 13-inch barrel. We got the two-piece 13.5-inch balanced, and then we got the one-piece 13-inch max load. So that's going to be like your half-ounce end load. Super max will be full. Either way, we're going to throw these on the tester. Did that at the house before we came out here. You're going to see that here in a second. From there, we're going to throw 52s, Pro M's on these, and then we'll head back to the house. Final compression, final thoughts. All right, let's see where our Miken Freak line is testing at. First up, we've got the 13.5-inch balanced model. I will say, and I think I might have mentioned in the intro, I do like the paint schemes they came up with these. Kind of splatter paint with the bright colors. And our 13.5 balanced is starting at a little under 275, call it 265-ish, somewhere around there. So again, we will go with 52s, dozen or so of those, probably closer to 20 total between everybody, and then move over to Pro M's. And then we've got the two one-piece USSSA models. First up is the balanced 13-inch one-piece Freak. Again, another, in my mind, great paint job, but everyone's got their own opinions of them. I like the brighter paint jobs. And on our balanced one piece, we're looking at, if this is anything like KP and Josh Riley's, the one pieces are gonna hold a little bit better, and we'll see if that's true or not, but this one is sitting right at 250. So that tells me this is pretty much game ready. And if this was gonna be something I was planning on throwing in my bag, I definitely wouldn't be going out here and doing the kind of swings we're going to, but obviously the video is to show you performance, everything like that. And we'll talk about that more in final thoughts, depending on how that goes. And then we've got the 13-inch max load. So for those not familiar, max load is the basically half-ounce end load, and then super max is going to be pretty close to your full ounce. But they do more of like a loaded type of end load, so it's not always spot on that as far as that goes. And I know a little confusing. I've talked to them about it, and I still don't completely understand it. And this one is just a hair over 250 as well. So the one pieces seem to be pretty darn game ready versus, like, I believe KP and Josh Riley's both were closer to 275. Held really well, held for a long time. Definitely felt like needed some swing. So it'll be interesting to see how these perform. Either way, let's go ahead. We'll head out to the field like we talked about in the intro, get our swings, come back to the garage, final compression, final thoughts. All right, we're going to roll through all 52s first with these three and then hop over to Pro M's. So we're going to start with two-piece balance. Then you'll see one-piece balance, one-piece end load, and then we'll swap over to Pro M's.
92 miles per hour.
It's a nice first swing. Definitely caught it lower on the barrel. Felt a little bit of the sting in the hands, but came off good and nice little knuckle action.
97 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's got a good feel. It's got a really good feel, and you can tell exactly where it's coming off this barrel.
96 miles per hour.
Super consistent, easy to control. Again, it's a 27 balanced, and to me it feels pretty much spot on to a 27. So if you've ever been worried about having to go up a weight, let's say in balance, for instance, I wouldn't worry about it with this one.
97 miles per hour. 88 miles per hour.
Let's see what carry we get off this. Yeah, put a little elevation carries. Again, don't need a bunch of 52s on these. As you saw with the two-piece, started right around 260, 265, not mistaken. On the balanced two-piece, let's hop over to the balanced one-piece. And now this one again, the next two one-piece are both 13-inch models.
99 miles per hour.
Yep, first swing, I'll tell you right now, the one-piece was that little bit stiffer. Definitely feels better with the 52s.
98 miles per hour.
Yep. Again, really good feedback off these. Definitely a good option for 52s.
91 miles per
Talk
hour.
about being way in front. Yeah, so way in front, ended up being mostly arms. Caught it higher up on the barrel. Still got, what was 91, I think it said, and we one hop our fence. So this stiffer overall feel with the barrel and one piece is definitely performing really well with these 52s.
91 miles per hour.
Yeah, and that's going to wrap it up there. Again, you saw the swings, 52s from both of us. These so far feel real good with the 52s. We're going to hop over now to the 13-inch end load model with the 52s. This one's a 13-inch max load, just as a reminder.
101 miles per hour.
Yep, as expected.
94 miles per hour.
A little higher up on the barrel, and we land right at the base of the fence. So Yeah, all three of these Mikens are definitely good options for 52s. We run the numbers later. We'll see all that stuff. I'll be still the ranking out for you. But I'll tell you, if you're somebody who has to swing 52s at some point, you go bounce between like U-trip balls, 52 balls. So far into these Mikens would be a perfectly good option.
98 miles per hour.
Did you see that? That ball was like a little bit of knuckle, slight knuckle, started up, down, and came back up. But yeah, this feels really good with the 52s.
95 miles per hour.
There's our sweet spot. Oh, and he catches out the fence. Oh well, either way, that wraps up for the Miken freaks with 52s. Again, talk about a little more in the final thoughts, but all good options for 52s. All have a good feedback, especially for U-trip. You can tell where you're catching it. Now let's hop over, same order, 2-piece, 1-piece balance, 1-piece end load with Pro M's. All right, as I mentioned, starting with the balance, refresher, 13.5-inch barrel, 27. All the balls we swing are Pro M's, so we got USSSA Super Dupers. We still have some ZNs in there, Razzos, a couple gold dots, and then a couple bait and fires.
108 miles per hour.
Well, there's a Pro M, a little bit different.
95 miles per hour.
I'll tell you, that was towards the end of the bat. That's as far towards the end of the bat as you can get without, I mean, it's somewhere up here, and we just on a line nice over the fence. So that forgiveness we saw from the 52s is carried over very nicely to the Pro M's.
103 miles per hour.
Yes, sir. And I've talked on the past, I'm not a huge balance fan or long barrel fan. So this is like my nightmare per se, 13.5 balance, but super easy to control. Again, that 27 feels nice and still getting excellent exit velo, which for me has been, I've noticed a downtick in the past with some balance bats. So far, this one reminds me a lot of Phil Matt's Bedlam this year. It was another one of those balance that was just an absolute fire stick. And so I'm loving this one.
107 miles per hour.
Jeez Louise. Very consistent. And for whatever reason, we're getting a good amount of movement off the barrel here with a little bit of that knuckle, half spin action, and it's making that ball move all over the place.
98 miles per hour.
We're gonna finish up on that one with this bat. Yep, that's our parking lot. So I'll put the measurement up for anybody who hasn't seen it here for the parking lot right now. But that'll wrap it up for our 13.5-inch balance. Yeah, I should just see what the compression does on it. That's pretty much all I got to say about it at this point, but great option. We'll test it. Final thoughts. And like we said, same order as the 52s. We've got the 1-piece 13-inch balance now.
93 miles per hour.
Okay, it's a heck of a start. Didn't mean to lift it that much, but just shy of our parking lot.
109 miles per hour.
Golly. Man. There's some 1-piece I love, some not so much. This one, through the first handful of swings and obviously the 52s, very forgiving for a 1-piece and great feedback so far. You can see there's a ball mark up here by the EN on Miken. I think from towards the end of the 52s, but like I mentioned with the forgiveness, it's really, the only thing you have to worry about is it gives you feedback on the hands, but it's not so bad that, I mean, my hands aren't stinging or anything like that.
108 miles per hour.
Oh, the sound is awesome.
99 miles per hour.
Oh my goodness. Oh, there's our parking lot again. Yeah, this is nice.
93 miles per hour.
Caught that low again, which is nuts. I'm gonna end on that. We don't usually end on a miss, but that ball caught it lower for sure. Not a ton of sting, so I mean it wasn't low, but we still carried it out to just shy of our parking lot. Again, these bats, crazy forgiving, real good. I can't wait to kind of watch the video back, calculate some of those numbers, get you guys rankings and stuff. But so far, two really good options, especially for balance models for those people that really have been waiting for some more balance bats. But let's swap over now to the max load and finish this thing up. All right, and to wrap up our freaks, we've got the 1-piece 13-inch max load.
109 miles per hour.
I'll take that as the first. 109 starting off. I don't know, 109 seems to be the starting point. I like it.
107 miles per hour.
107 knuckling, and it was a miss in the sense that it wasn't the sweet spot. It was low enough that I felt a little bit of the crack on the hands. But again, the forgiveness is kind of crazy, honestly, for the one pieces. It reminds me a lot of KP's one piece from earlier in the year. His was obviously 12.5 though, but his started a little higher compression, needs some braking. These starting right at that 250 mark. These don't need BP. Obviously, I've mentioned this before. I think I talked about it in the initial compression. If this was the bat I bought to put in my bag, I'm coming out here with the 52s I have, 20, 30 swings, get comfortable with it, and then probably 20-ish Pro-Ms as I rotate the barrel and calling it good, especially after feeling the performance. So we'll see. Maybe, obviously, it does hold right at that 250, 245, even after the 100 swings we get on it. But you definitely don't need, with any of these freaks, a lot of swings, if any, BP at this point.
104 miles per hour.
104 on the line in the gap. And again, I'm just barely missing the sweet spot right now for whatever reason. Let's hit the sweet spot now.
101 miles per hour.
All I had to do was ask. Well into the parking lot. And apparently all I gotta do is ask for something in the sweet spot and it works. But yeah, I'm running out of things to say about these Mikens. They've done a great job with these freaks. Highly recommend so far.
107 miles per hour.
Oh my goodness. That ball started here and then decided I wanted to raise some more. Oh, let's get one more good one and we are done with these bats.
98 miles per hour.
We're gonna end on another miss. Yeah, one down, reached. Oh God, I almost hit a hop into the car. But went down and reached for that one low, caught a little bit low, felt the sting. 98 over our center field wall. So again, I'll tell you more in the final thought, try to keep that quick. I know these videos with multiple bats get a little long, but 3 great options for Miken. The new freak line. Again, 13.5-inch 2-piece bounce, 13 1-piece bounce, 13 1-piece max load. Great options, good options, whatever term you want to use for 52s. Awesome, straight out of the wrapper. Well, I say straight out of the wrapper. After 30 52s, great options with Pro-Ms. Definitely don't need swings. Let's go get tests on these. Final thoughts. All right, now that we're back at the garage, it's next day, so it's been almost 24 hours since we swung these things. Plenty of time for these bats to sit. We're gonna see, starting off with the 2-piece bounce, where this thing ends final compression-wise. And it's still sitting like 255-ish, so no issues there. And again, like we talked about with all 3 of these Mikens, none of them required any BP. They felt great pretty much from swing number 1. But for those guys that like to BP, that tells you that obviously you can BP that one if you want to. Then we got the 1-piece balanced. This one, and obviously the max lows, the 2 1-pieces, the ones I was going to be a little concerned with because they started at such a game-ready compression of right around, I believe it was 250. So I'm interested to see if these were able to hold or if these are going to be, no kidding, like game-ready type models. But either way, let that get there. And that's awesome to see. So even with our swings, we're just a hair under 250. So barely moved. Lets you know you can still go ahead, take it out there, put some BP swings on it. Not a whole bunch, obviously, just enough to rotate the barrel, open it up, get used to it, and then put that thing away and just game it. Because as you saw there with the swings, this thing is very, very good. All 3 models really were. Everyone really enjoyed swinging it. And then our max load model, same thing on this one, started right at 250, hoping this one holds as well. Sometimes the end load with the extra impact on the barrels causes some issues. And this one didn't move even a little bit, still at 250. So that's really great to see. Able to start right game ready. And so far at about 100 total swings on each bat. Each one still passing, no issues. We'll talk about it briefly here in the final thoughts. All right, and that wraps it up for our USSSA Miken Freak line of bats. If I can get these to stop falling all over the place. We have the 13.5-inch balanced 2-piece, and then we got the 13-inch 1-piece balance and the 13-inch 1-piece max load. And I'll tell you, all 3 of these were a whole lot of fun to swing. When I started swinging the balance, I'm not usually a balance fan, but with the longer barrel, it made it nice and smooth through the zone. I felt like I was getting good pop, good control, and the ball was absolutely jumping off this thing. And with all 3 of them, the way they felt, I thought that we were probably dropping the compression pretty fast. We were going to see, okay, these aren't meant to BP. But as you saw there, all 3 are still passing just fine. No issues there whatsoever. And again, we put that 100-plus swings on each one of these bats. With the 13.5, great forgiveness, which you would expect from a longer barrel, but a great sweet spot, which isn't always the case when you get the barrels that get kind of longer and longer there. So if you're somebody that's looking for that kind of 2-piece longer barrel, you're a balance fan, here it is for you, obviously. And then between the 1-pieces, You obviously get a stiffer feel than the 2-piece, but I wouldn't go so stiff that I'd call these like alloy stiff, like you see on some of the 2-pieces. These are kind of that semi-stiff to where you still get good feedback. You don't get a ton of ringing in the hands. And then what's real nice on these 1-pieces is they have tons of forgiveness as well. And so all 3 of these could be swung easily straight out of the wrapper based on how they were holding. If it's me, I'm still going to go throw about 40 to 50 BP swings while rotating the barrel just to kind of open the fibers up, get comfortable with it, and kind of be comfortable with the bat that you're swinging. But don't hesitate to pick any of these up. Obviously, if you're a balance fan, you got this option. End load fan, you got this option. But from Miken so far this year, these are going to be my favorite. All 3 of these are my favorites that they've dropped so far. But this is going to be the one that I'm holding on to for now that we're going to use later on in kind of a bracket style showdown between a bunch of the brands. We're going to pick our favorite bat from each brand, from USA and USSSA. And as of now, it's going to be the Freak, depending on what else drops before we were able to get that kind of knocked out. But with that being said, these are all available on headbangersports.com. Discount code ADS for your discount. There's also 3 Miken, or I guess they're technically Rawlings HitLab reps. You'll see them in the description of the video below. They can get you squared away. I've got their cell numbers in there. Feel free just to shoot them a text. Let them know what you want to pick up. They'll square you away as well if you'd rather go that route. Or there's also the link tree in the description of the video that has codes, links to a bunch of different sites to help you out with whether it's expedited shipping, free shipping, discounts on the product itself, whatever it might be, or it's got contact info so you can reach out to me and I can kind of help get you squared away. But either way, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Again, 3 real good models here. Real excited on swinging these ones. Go ahead and check out the rankings and how these compare to everything else over on averagedudeslowpitch.com. If you ever have questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll do my best to get back to you as fast as I can. If it's a tournament weekend, just give me a couple days. I'll get back to you like on the flight back or whatever it might be. But regardless, appreciate you checking the video out. Have a great day.